It's currently 12:11 a.m. and I just want to talk about the biggest failure I think of my 20s, and that was a business that I started last year called Encouragement in Print. Fine, you can look it up. It's still on Etsy. And these are some things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that I will be doing based on my failure of my business that I'm going to try to do these 5 things as I'm starting my new one. And this new business is very important to me because I'm about to turn 25 in like a month and a half, 2 months. And before stepping in my 25, mid 20s, I really want to be successful in having my business and staying consistent with it and not giving up and not failing and not being discouraged and allowing being discouraged to just give up on something as big as a business. So let's go. The first thing is be consistent. In terms of consistency, this is something that I really lacked in. I kind of rushed this business last year, this summer, literally a little over a year now. And I didn't put a lot of love into my artwork. You can judge for yourself. You can kind of tell with some of my products that I kind of rushed it. And because of that, I rushed it because I had this really unrealistic expectation that I'll post on Etsy, people will love it, and it'll blow up. That didn't happen. And when that didn't happen, I stopped posting on Instagram. I stopped creating new products. I just focused on my full-time job and gave that up. This is what I want to do differently. First, I need to be really on top of my social media. I know that I'm not going to be posting on YouTube every other day. Maybe once a week. That's fair. Instagram, maybe like every other day. A lot of the things that are easier for me to post on TikTok, I can just recycle on Instagram. Facebook, not really. Pinterest and Facebook are kind of different social media outlets that you can't just post whatever. And I feel like I can make this into a whole video, but Pinterest is also an outlet that a lot of people don't really use, my opinion. But I want to be consistent in these platforms, but also in continuing to do research and continuing to make products. Number 2, this one is really important to me, be realistic. Kind of like I mentioned before, I was not being realistic on how my business was going to take off. I thought I was going to blow up. I thought that people were going to like my things. No. Currently with this new business, I'm expecting organic growth over time, especially if my products are good. If growth is not happening, I need to take a step back and kind of see what I can change, what I can tweak, what I can take out, and not allow that to discourage me, because this is a brand new business. I'm young. I never had a successful business before. I don't know what I'm doing. And this is another reason why I wanted to start this channel, because I wanted to document my journey, truly. Also, it helped me to stay consistent, and also just to put that responsibility on myself of like, listen, you started this channel, you're looking all the tips that you're spewing out, actually stick with them. 3, be inspired. I wrote here, don't stay in a bubble and be so sure people are going to buy your products. Just because you like them doesn't mean other people like them. This is, I think, one of the biggest reasons why my business failed. I stayed in my bubble. I didn't ask people for feedback. I just came back from an adult ministry and I asked a few of my friends, like, please be honest. I'm really good at taking feedback. I'm really good at taking criticism. Do you like it? Do you think it will sell? What do you think? And I want to continue doing that. I want to continue being inspired by other small business owners and not just be so sure of myself and give myself so much pride. I feel like now, looking back, as I'm verbally processing this whole journey I've been in, I'm glad that the Lord allowed for my business to fail, because I was very prideful, I feel, on my products. That's why I didn't really ask for feedback. That's why I had these unrealistic expectations, because I was so sure that people were gonna like what I put out. How can you be so sure? Did you ask anyone? No. But this pride, I'm glad that the Lord this whole year has been shedding that and allowing me to just take a step back and rely on Him for instilling creativity, artistic skills, because without Him, at the end of the day, I cannot do anything. So being realistic, being inspired, and being consistent also only comes from Him. Next, be encouraged and motivated, kind of similar to the last one. Currently three things that have been motivating me to begin this business, even continue the idea of a business, has been finances. Come on now. Long term, having a business and over time it taking off and allowing me to have some extra side of income will help my financial burden that I have. I don't want to call it a burden, my loans. 2, it is the fact that this business will allow me to stay in touch with my hobby, of which is drawing. And 3, it's a verse from Proverbs 10 verse 4. Lazy hands make for poverty, but diligent hands bring wealth. I think another reason why I failed last year is because I was being lazy with just posting and expecting everything to blow up. Not being lazy means you're being consistent. You are working hard. You're not expecting a get rich quick scheme. None of that is real. And the ones that exist soonly end in poverty. So I want to continue to pray that the Lord will allow me to be a hard worker, especially with this business. I don't pick and choose what I want to be working hard at. Last but not least, being a victim. This is something I was especially good at. Currently, I'm a grad student. I have a full-time job, looking for a part-time job, starting this business. I'm the eldest of a Hispanic home. Also part of different ministries. It can be very easy for me to just be like, oh, I'm busy. I have a lot going on. I'm just not going to focus. I'm just going to take a day off of the business. I'm going to take another day off. And that leads to you leaving it completely. And that's exactly what happened last year. Also, I would pity myself with like, oh, it's not getting any traction. Like, oh, I'm just going to leave it. Who knows what could have happened if I had stayed consistent and not allowed the failures to like completely ruin my entire trajectory. So we are more than conquerors. That's number 1. Number 2, having a victim mentality brings nothing. It does nothing. It brings no good results. It just makes you feel like a downer and ruins your mood. For why? So that's something that I want to continue to stop doing. Also, something that has been really helping me, I want to say 2 years ago that I heard this. Someone said, the time is going to pass whether you do what you're supposed to do or not. That's my paraphrase version. I want to look back at next year and just be like, wow, thank you, God, for allowing me to stay consistent, to stick with this, and not look back and like, wow, another failure. Great. I really want to stick with this. These 5 tips you can use, but they're really, at the end of the day, for me to just stick with, because I feel like this can be a recipe for a really good, motivated, realistic, encouraged, not victim, conquering, inspired business woman, or anyone, to be honest, that just wants some help with starting something new. Something as scary as starting a business. I'm gonna do more videos on things that I buy, more of the details of what the business entails. But for now, I just kind of want to give this introductory of like, this is where I'm coming from. Now this is what I'm currently doing or gonna begin doing to really allow this business to flourish. So yes, my brand is called Emotional Doodles, and it's gonna encompass stickers and t-shirts and other type of stationery. That's been my dream, but my ultimate dream is to open up a stationery store in Queens where I live. So let's see.